Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode.
Hello.
Today, Amanda has agreed to let me ask her a question.
Well, just one.
Just one.
Just
That's my weekly allotment. I've read a lot of cancer books this past year and a lot of books on long-term survivorship and people who have been able to heal from very difficult and terminal diagnoses. And I came across this one comment the other day. What makes cancer really unique is it's this opportunity to really love a little bit more, because unlike a car crash where you leave the house one day, you don't give any thought to it, and something happens and you never come back. When you get a terminal diagnosis like he had, like Amanda has, then you are told, hey, your life is a little bit more precious than you may have realized. But it's an opportunity for you to really say the things that matter most, nurture the relationships that are most important, love a little bit more, let go of stuff. Which leads to my question, do you feel like that is true for you? And then part 2 or 3 of that would be, which relationships do you feel like you've really nurtured and improved upon? And which ones do you feel like you still want to evolve or grow?
Okay. I already forgot what the first question was.
The first question is, do you feel that since being given a terminal diagnosis, it is this opportunity to be more loving, be more intentional, be more deliberate in the ways you interact with people in your life?
Well, yeah, because you just don't know if that's literally going to be the last time that you see them. So I do feel even before cancer, I was really good about, I had this thing on my phone where I would write down like the friends that I wanted to contact and reach out to. And I even have on like my phone app, like what they said or what they're going through or just like the hard times. So I've actually been very good about that even before cancer. Obviously the time feels like it's ticking faster. There is more of an urgency to like stay up later text messaging with somebody or being on a phone call for like over an hour to 2 hours. So I do think that there is just that urgency because like Jesse said, I mean, you could just be on your way home from work and that's it. I think in a very strange way, I feel like it is mm, it is I am very fortunate that I have time to say the goodbyes, even though like the goodbye, but I mean time with people and letting them know how much I love them and how much they mean to me. And so I'm very glad that I have that space.
Then part 2 of that is part 2 and part 3.
Mm-hmm.
Which relationships do you feel like that you've really nurtured, that you've repaired, that you feel closer to, more connected with? You choose how you answer it. And then part 3 is,
Let's just pause there. Because I will forget.
Okay, part 2 only.
I would say my mom. My mom would be somebody who we would text message all the time together. Like we would write each other all the time, but my mom and I make it a point to get on the phone. And my dad's on Zoom, like not on Zoom, but on speakerphone. And so I do probably talk to my mom 6, if not 7 days a week. Usually I would say 10 minutes to an hour each phone call. And it's really been kind of neat. It's a really nice thing to have, and I've seen my mom and dad more since cancer than probably since I've graduated high school, which was 25 years ago. I love that we graduated in 2000 because it's such easy math.
And then part 3 of that is, are there relationships that you feel like that have not been elevated in the way that you want and that you still want to work on?
Probably us. Like me actually having a schedule and stuff like that.
Giving a shit?
One.
I like how you didn't just say no, that's not true. You just
It's true. I don't have enough time to lie anymore. So
good. You heard it here, folks.
But I will say that there are some people who surprise me by showing up like super hardcore and in such a loving way. And there was also friends that, you know, they're very timid and they almost don't want to talk about cancer. They don't want to like, and most of the time I don't actually talk about cancer when I'm with my friends, unless it comes up, I mean, in just general conversation. But as long as I'm not meeting someone for the first time and I've seen them once or twice, it's usually like we just not talk about the weather, but just like how they're doing or how their kids are doing or animals are doing. But there are some people who are just terrified to, or very uncomfortable to talk about like terminal cancer, which is like not obviously not like everyone's favorite conversation, but it's my reality. So like when people are just like, you just need to get over it and you need to do this, I'm kind of like, oh, okay, like I love you and I'm going to love you from afar at this point. Because especially given the situation right now that I'm in, very long story short, because we've talked about this before, I do feel I'm in this phase of like depressive episodes, but also just kind of like, you know, treatment's over and really starting to realize like it's really starting to hit me that this is very real. This is not going away. And I have to emotionally deal with it the best I can. And so that's just kind of where I am right now.
So, follow-up question with that. People want to show up, but they don't know how.
Mm-hmm.
So, for the ones who are on, you know, and this is just anybody in life because people are going to go through this with people who are their friends, their family. How do you find value in people reaching out? What is helpful for people who are timid? They're not sure what to do. They're not sure what to say. What would you encourage them to do?
Just ask any question that you might have. I mean, I'm a pretty open person. I'll let you know how I'm like feeling or anything. But just ask like, hey, how is this feeling, or what do you need, or how can I help? You know, but also I understand that it's not easy to ask.
Totally.
And so it's kind of like this kind of give or take kind of situation. So I don't really know. I feel like most of the people in my life are just very like whatever you need, or there's no conversation that I'm like unwilling to have.
And you're right. Some of these times it's just not easy to ask. And I think what's one of the many things that is valuable about you having these conversations, Amanda, is sometimes it just takes that person to name it, to speak it, to articulate it, to let people know, oh wait, what I'm feeling, it's a normal feeling to have. Because otherwise, when we're, we can feel that space of, gosh, I just feel stupid about asking, or I don't know what to do. And then that story starts.
Yeah.
I'm not a good friend. I'm not a good whatever.
Yeah, I have had not quite a few, but I would say there's maybe about 5 or 6 people that in the beginning and then I would see them at the grocery store and they're like, I'm so sorry that I haven't reached out. I just don't know how, and I just can't believe this is happening to you. And I'm thinking to myself like, well, it is. And that's fine.
Yeah,
it's just fine. Like if that's how they are, I know that they love me. I know where I stand with people, and And if they ever wanted to like get on the phone or talk or just to unburden themselves too, right? Because I feel like that is something that people will say, like, I'm so glad I see you. And I also think people see me doing really well. And that kind of is like, oh, she's not on a walker, I'm not in a wheelchair, and I'm not in all these other things. I still, for the most part, look like myself aside from my hair at this point.
Which is growing
It
faster than a chia
is
pet.
insane. I don't know what's happening in the back.
And then one more quick question.
Okay, first of all, how many questions? You said one.
This is just follow up on you. Another live demonstration of our relationship and what happens when I go over my budget. You had mentioned people who will say stuff like, well, you just need to get over it, just be positive, those kinds of things. And
no, stop with that.
But what would be, because we can appreciate that a lot of times people are doing that, they're loving people, they love and care about you, and it's often just a lack of just a lack of familiarity or comfort examining their own mortality. Two, because it's you and you are generally the person that people say is so nice, is so kind, is so thoughtful, it hits a little bit harder just because it's you. It seems like it's, people do the whole, it's not fair, it's not this. What would you encourage people to do instead of saying, just get over it, just be so positive?
Don't say anything. Like, that's really the easiest thing, is you don't have to say anything. So especially in this moment where, like, it's very easy to say, like, I was having hard days during chemo or after surgery or whatever, but just don't say anything, because when people say to, like, get over it, you don't even know the day that I'm having or how I feel or like what happened in an appointment. So instead of just saying, like, get over it, you just don't even have to ask, or you can just say, sorry you're going through that.
Anything else for this one? Very good. All right, everybody. We love and appreciate you. Thanks so much for being here, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.